Have you ever bought one thing and then ended up buying a whole bunch of other things because of that initial purchase?
Even as minimalists, we've fallen into that trap. And this phenomenon actually has a name. So stay tuned and we'll tell you all about it. Okay, so the name of the phenomenon is the Diderot effect. What it refers to is when you buy one thing, it leads to a chain reaction of buying more.
So this Diderot effect is named after an 1800s French philosopher his name is Denis Diderot. And what happened was he came into a whole lot of money because he sold books to the Queen or something like that. And he decided he was going to treat himself to a brand new evening robe.
A scarlet evening robe.
Apparently a scarlet evening robe.
We need scarlet evening robes.
So then he realized, he looked around and he said, well, no, his slippers are old and threadbare, so he needs new slippers to go with his robe. And then he decided that he needed new pajamas. And it just snowballed after that. And he actually ended up in debt because of that initial purchase.
Yeah.
And he then wrote an essay about it and he explained, and then it became the Diderot effect.
Yeah. So in terms of modern day, the way, or an example would be, you decide, or you need a new couch and you get one and you put it in the room and suddenly your coffee table's looking a bit shabby. So you say, okay, we'll get another coffee table. And then, the curtains or the drapes don't go anymore and you want to change that. So that's the snowball effect of buying things because you bought one. Buying more things because you bought one thing.
And also, like, if you think about it to begin with, maybe you wanted to replace the couch, but the curtains were fine. The coffee table was fine. So,
yeah. And I think it also happens with fashion. If you buy a new blouse and then your skirt or your pant doesn't look so good with it anymore.
Or you want earrings.
Yeah, matching shoes or something. So I think we've all been subject to the Diderot effect.
We have. And today we're actually outing ourselves as, because we wanted to show you the messy side of our lives. And if you're looking behind us, you'll see that's exactly what's going on. Because, typically of YouTube or anything online, everything is curated because we want the viewers to have a nice experience, but there is you're not under any illusion. There is obviously a behind the scenes going on here.
Yeah, let's tell them about it. So we've been doing some chatting and we've figured out that the biggest Diderot effect that we've been subject to is when we bought our apartment 2 years ago.
We, at the time, decided, okay, we need to get into the property market, and we found an apartment and we bought it. And that's all we thought. And then the next thing, you'll actually see it in that apartment tour, how we were running around the place saying, oh, we're going to buy this and we're going to do this and we have bought this and we did. And it literally snowballed and we didn't expect it. And we didn't think through the details. I think we got sucked along, like almost in a current.
Yeah, so from being almost extreme minimalists, because when we moved in there, we had very little stuff.
Yeah.
To, as granular as doing like drawer dividers, buying plastic thingies to divide our drawers.
Yeah, we bought washing baskets, which we are so against washing baskets and things. The wall desk thing that we put up, we kind of a little bit thought through that, but not really.
Well, that one we used, so it did actually have quite a purpose. The washing baskets, not that we're against them, but we don't need them. We like now we've got a bag, a cloth bag for the washing, and I don't know what the other thing. Oh, the recycling. You'll see the recycling is in a bag over there.
So fast forward to why we're sitting here with this mess behind us. And I actually said to Sporty, I wanted the mess here because it's a metaphor for what's going on in our life right now. So maybe we should walk them through how we ended up here so quickly with this mess.
Yeah, so we got an offer on the flat, and everything was going along quite swimmingly, and we got an estimated date of transfer on the property, which was supposed to be at the end of the month. And then suddenly, I'm not sure why, because normally the wheels turn very slowly here, they said, oh no, the transfer is going to be through in like a few days. So we had to basically just pile everything. Yeah, we hustled. We had to pile everything together and move, at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, because basically our apartment suddenly wasn't ours anymore. It belonged to someone else. And obviously they were young and keen to get in there, so we wanted to help them out. So it took us 1.5 carloads to get here, but, and I've taken photographs to show you, there was a whole lot of stuff that we gave away and decluttered on that side before we moved. So you can imagine there was bicycle helmets, there was an extra chair, there was grass for the balcony, there were planter thingies. The list just, and the washing basket. I was like, I'm not bringing that with. But then we've still got all of this. So
this, the plan is to declutter this, when we get to the new place. But that's a whole other video.
Well, we can just tell them really quickly that we found an amazing empty apartment, and we're going to take our stuff there. We move in there in 2 weeks, and we're going to keep it in the garage and do the one box method that we always encouraging everyone else to do, where you take things out as you need them, and what's still in there after 30 days, it's going.
In fact, we've already started doing that here. So we've only taken out what we need because we don't want to unpack everything and then pack again in 2 weeks. And so far, we've been using these cups. We've each got a spoon and we've each got a bowl. And I mean, we've been having breakfast and lunch and dinner perfectly okay. No, we haven't had to get the other crockery out, all the other cutlery. So
yeah,
it's actually, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So let's just maybe do the second half or the end of the video by showing or explaining how you can avoid the Diderot effect in your own life, and we will take notes for ourselves as well, so we don't end up in this mess again. Okay, so let's talk about how you can avoid the Diderot effect in your own life. We've got four ways to help you do that. The first is simply by being aware, which is exactly what we weren't.
Yeah. So distinguish between your needs and your wants. If you buy something and you suddenly decide that you need to buy another thing, do you actually need it or do you just want it, because you're in the spell of Diderot?
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing is to limit your exposure to marketing. So if you signed up for email newsletters, maybe from certain shops, definitely unsubscribe and don't go and troll online websites where you like looking for things. I think it incites a need to buy stuff when you don't need it.
Yeah. And then the third thing is set a budget. If you are going to change something or start something new, say to yourself, okay, I've got so much and that's all I'm going to spend. So then you can maybe buy more than one thing, but keep it within the budget or the limit that you've set yourself.
Again, something that we didn't do at all. Like, we didn't think, we just, I want this and I want that.
Yeah.
And the last thing, which is something that Marie Kondo is also very big on, is to practice gratitude for what you already have. Because just by looking around and saying, wow, we've got all these things and we're so grateful for them, it acts as a counter to that desire to want to buy new things, So that's something worth doing, is just to really be grateful about what's in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. And then there are actually, believe it or not, some benefits to the Diderot effect.
Yeah, sometimes it does work.
Yes. Yeah. So the one, and we've also been subject to this one, is if you start something new, like a hobby, either craft or in our case it was cycling.
Yes.
Yeah, so we bought the bicycles.
Yeah, but then you need helmets, you need glasses, you need safety lights, a lock for the bicycle.
And in our case, we even had to get a bell because we were cycling on footpaths. Good morning.
Somebody's just woken up. So it's not always bad, but the point I think here is that's really important. If you say, oh, I feel like taking up cycling, stop a moment and say to yourself, it's not just buying a bicycle. What else could I possibly need if I start doing X?
Yes.
I think that's the most important thing here.
And then, do I still want to do it, and do I have the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one other area where it could be positive is if you decide that you're going to upgrade your living room and you want to create a more harmonious environment, and maybe you want things to match and the whole area to feel good, then it might make sense that you're going to buy a lamp that looks like this and a coffee table that looks like that. But again, I think it goes back to knowing how much money you have and whether or not you actually need every single thing that you're thinking of. The reason for making this video and bringing to mind the Diderot effect for you is there are so many channels, us included, where we're constantly talking about how to declutter, how to downsize, but this takes it like a few steps back.
Yeah, to the point even before the purchase. So you're thinking about the sort of rollout after the purchase.
Yeah.
If it's the one thing you're going to buy, and the other thing, and the other thing, and the other thing, and the other thing, and the other thing.
Yeah, just try and. I mean, it would actually be quite fun to make a list maybe and say, okay, using the bicycle as an example again. Say, I want to buy a bicycle. What else could I possibly need if I buy a bicycle?
Yeah.
I need a lock, I need a helmet, etc., etc. And do that every time you want to buy something. Yeah, so it's about being mindful and intentional, which is what we're all about here.
To avoid the sort of hedonistic treadmill roller coaster.
Yes,
Yeah,
which
you can see here behind us, the physical effects.
Yeah, this is
Anyway, it'll make for another good video. So it's a, what do you call it? It's a dichotomy.
Yes, or something.
So it's cool and it's not cool.
Yeah. So we would love to hear from you. Have you ever fallen prey to this trap? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. You know how much we love those comments.
Yeah.
So keep them coming.
Yeah.
And if you're new here and you're feeling it, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us to grow this little channel and get us out there in the world, encouraging everybody to declutter and live more minimally.
Yeah. And if you're not watching the whole video, just let it run until the end.
Oh, that would help us so much.
So our retention rate needs to be increased.
And share the video.
Yes,
hit
please
the like.
share.
Yeah, share is great. Just share it with other people. Hit the like button.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you did get this far, and if you just let it run to the end, thank you.
And until next time,
live simply, be happy,
and age intentionally.
Bye.
Snoopy.
Snoops, come here. I want them to see you. Come here, my boy. Come. I hope they can see you. Hello, my kitty boy.
Hello, Schmitty.
Mr. Brave Pants, if you can actually see him, he went out on his first adventure this morning. It's only our
in the new place.
It's our third morning in our temp place, hey?
It's his
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's our third morning, and he went on an adventure this morning
on his own. With his collar, he has to wear a collar here. So
yeah, he's got a bow tie. Right. Oh, kitty cat. We love it, hey? Yeah, wait. Here's your coffee.
Do we know who's saying what, or are we just gonna try and interrupt each other? It's named after Denis Diderot, who lived many, many moons ago. Tail not in the coffee, thank you.
It can be on set, but not in coffee.
Yeah.
Oh,
bums can be on set, but not in coffees. Yeah, I think
Unless it's coffee, then, you know, just buy the coffee.
yeah, and the cups and the strainer and
The French press.
coffee pots and the and the Nespresso machine.